If you've ever sat quietly in a room full of people cheering at a screen, wondering why you simply don't feel what they feel, this is for you. You are not cold. You are not broken. You may simply be someone whose inner world is so rich that you don't need a stadium to feel alive. Research in sensory processing and temperament tells us that people like Zeno, those who feel intensely, think deeply, and seek genuine meaning, often experience life through a completely different neurological lens. That difference is not a flaw. It is a fingerprint. So before the world tells you again to care about the game, let's explore what is truly happening inside your beautifully wired brain. And that brain, your brain, has a story worth telling with great care and respect. Let us begin with something fundamental. Human beings are wired for connection. For thousands of years, belonging to a group was not a preference, it was survival. Tribes hunted together, grieved together, celebrated together. That ancient need never disappeared. It simply found new arenas. For many people, sports became that arena, a socially acceptable stage for tribal loyalty, collective emotion, and shared identity. When someone watches their team play, their brain releases oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that deepens the love between a parent and a child. Their nervous system is not overreacting. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. But here is where the story becomes deeply personal. Research in sensory processing sensitivity, pioneered over decades of careful clinical study, reveals that not all nervous systems are calibrated the same way. Some people, perhaps someone like Zeno, possess a neurological trait that causes them to process experience far more deeply than others. They absorb more, they reflect more, and because of this, they are extraordinarily selective about where they direct their emotional energy. This is not detachment, this is depth. A 2019 study confirmed that individuals with lower sports interest demonstrated significantly reduced us versus them thinking. They were less likely to define themselves through group rivalry. And rather than seeing this as a social deficiency, researchers recognized it as a marker of more individuated identity, a self that does not require external allegiance to feel whole. For someone like Zeno, belonging was never found in a jersey or a stadium. It was found in something quieter, something far more personal, and something far more lasting. And that quiet, personal sense of meaning is not accidental, it is neurological. Here is what the science gently reveals. Sports fandom, at its neurological core, operates on dopamine, the brain's anticipation and reward chemical. Every play, every uncertain moment, every near miss floods the brain with tiny, powerful doses of this chemical. Researchers using fMRI imaging have shown that watching competitive sports activates the same neural reward pathways as gambling. The uncertainty is the engine. The unpredictability keeps the dopamine flowing in a pattern psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the most powerfully addictive reward system the human brain can experience. But for someone like Zeno, this mechanism simply does not activate in the same way. And research from the University of Chicago suggests this may be rooted in genetic variations in dopamine receptor sensitivity. In other words, Zeno's brain is not unresponsive. It is selectively responsive. It seeks depth over stimulation, meaning over momentum, and genuine emotional investment over vicarious excitement. A landmark 2021 study found that people with low sports interest scored significantly higher in openness to experience, appreciation of beauty, and love of ideas. Their emotional highs arrive through art, music, literature, nature, and intimate human connection. Their nervous systems are not less engaged with the world, they are differently engaged, more carefully, and often more profoundly so. This is the empathy allocation principle. Every person carries a finite reservoir of deep emotional investment. Highly sensitive individuals like Zeno tend to pour that reservoir into places where it feels reciprocal, into relationships, creative work, intellectual discovery, and causes that carry personal meaning. This is not indifference to the world. This is a quiet, deliberate, and deeply human way of choosing where the heart belongs. And choosing where the heart belongs, that is perhaps the most honest thing a person can do. There is something else worth exploring with tenderness here. For some people, the distance from sports culture was not chosen intellectually, it was felt. Perhaps Zeno grew up feeling excluded from the aggressive, loud energy that surrounded competitive fandom. Perhaps the noise felt like too much. Perhaps the tribal pressure to perform enthusiasm, to cheer on command, to mourn on schedule, felt deeply inauthentic. Highly sensitive individuals have a finely tuned internal compass for authenticity. When something feels forced, their whole system resists. And that resistance is not a flaw. It is a form of self-protection that speaks of remarkable self-awareness. Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, in his landmark research on optimal human experience, described a state he called flow, those rare, luminous moments of complete absorption where time dissolves and the self feels most alive. His research confirmed that flow is not the exclusive territory of any one activity. For some, it arrives through sport. For someone like Zeno, it arrives through a conversation that goes 3 hours deep, through a piece of music that makes the chest ache, through a page of writing that says exactly what the soul could never quite articulate before. People who do not invest in spectator sports often report something quietly remarkable, a greater presence in their own lives. They are not spending their emotional bandwidth watching strangers navigate someone else's story. They are living, feeling, and fully inhabiting their own. And that, understood through the lens of sensory processing sensitivity, is not a limitation. It is a profound and beautiful expression of what it means to be someone who experiences life from the inside out, someone who was never meant to watch from the bleachers. And if you have ever felt quietly out of place in a world that measures passion by the volume of its cheering, please hear this. You are not missing something. You are not behind. You are not less. You are someone whose nervous system was built for a different kind of aliveness. Someone like Zeno, who finds meaning not in the roar of a crowd, but in the depths of a real, felt, chosen life. That is not ordinary. That is rare. And rare things deserve to be understood, not corrected. If something in these words touched a part of you that rarely gets seen, then you will want to watch this next video. It was made for you.